What's up, everyone? What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Fast Brain Reset. I am your coach, your guide. I'm Aaron, the Sub Life Coach. I'm a coach, author, and I've been sober for the past 7 years. And today we're diving into something I wish I knew 10 years ago. We're going to talk about your 30-day sobriety roadmap. If you've been trying to stop drinking or trying to control drinking and nothing seems to stick, this episode is going to feel like turning on the lights in a dark room. Is going to be one of those things where you're going to get a lot of clarity and a lot of things that you might not hear in other places. There's going to be a lot of things that maybe no one's ever told you, and hopefully that is the truth because a lot of times you have to think outside the box. I know for me, when I first got sober, I had to think outside the box and learn new things. Because here's the truth: most high achievers never hear this. You don't drink because you're weak. You drink because your fast brain is searching for regulation. And once you understand how your wiring actually works, you can actually use it and stop fighting against it, stop fighting yourself, and start working with yourself and your brain. And that's what we're going to talk about today. So, all right, let's jump into the podcast. I'm so excited about this. Today we're going to talk about the real problem of alcohol. Most people think they have a drinking problem, right? Fast brains, we actually have a systems problem, right? And here's what I mean. Fast brains are wired for a couple things. They're wired for overdrive. They're wired for emotional intensity. They're wired for impulse spikes. They're wired for boredom and tolerance. Right? We can't stand to be bored. We're wired for high dopamine because we have a lower baseline of it. We're wired for racing thoughts. And alcohol gives us a quick hit of regulation for about 5 minutes. And after that, well, you get the shame, the guilt, the anxiety, the numbness, and the loop starts again. Have you ever been caught in that drinking habit loop? I know I have for sure. For 18 years, I was stuck there. I would drink. I would have a craving. I would drink. I would have a craving, have a drink, and then I would repeat the cycle. And all the guilt, the shame, the anxiety would come the next day. And I kind of just thought, hey, the hell with it. When I want it, I need it. I need to turn my brain off. I need to hit that emergency brake and shut my brain off. And I need something to do that quickly. And that was alcohol. And that was the solution for me. And kind of the loop that happened for me and happens for a lot of people I work with is you got to trigger, right? You got to trigger something, triggers you, go into overdrive mode. You have a craving, you drink, and you have that relief. It's only momentarily, you get the shame, and then you repeat. And, that's kind of a cycle that a lot of us are stuck in, and it sucks. It's not good. It's not good for you. It's not good for anybody. And I just want you to know that you're not broken. That's just wiring running on autopilot. And we can either react or respond to life, right? If we're out there reacting to life, then life controls us. Everything in our life is happening to us, and we have that mentality, have that mindset. Then guess what? Your life is happening to you. There's nothing you can do about it, and you might as well just go sit in a corner and cry. I guess that's what most people want to do if you feel that way. And if you've been reacting to life and you've been doing that, that's okay. You don't have to feel ashamed about it, but you also have to understand that you can respond to those things. You can get up off the floor. You can get up from wherever you are in life and you can move forward. You can start responding to your life. You can start looking at things. And it sucks. It's not easy. It can be hard sometimes, but it's worth it in the end. And that's why today's roadmap is going to work for you because it's built exactly for the way your brain functions. Like I said, you might have a fast brain. Maybe you're ADHD, you have a diagnosis. Maybe you're ADHD curious, or maybe you just think, hey, I'm overthinking a little bit. I have a fast brain. Then guess what? Your brain functions a little bit differently than other people. It's wired a little bit differently. It's prone to hyperfocus. It's prone to self-criticism. It's prone to also great things like, creativity and excitement and all these other things. So it can be a blessing and a curse. I just want to help you guys learn how to use that so it turns into more of a blessing than a curse. And it helps and help you understand that alcohol is not helping you at all, especially if you have a fast brain, because I know it didn't help me as well. So I just want to take you guys back for just a moment, though. When I was about 2018, I was at Toastmasters. I was crushing speeches. I was winning contests. I was stepping out on the bigger stages, and I was drinking myself to sleep every single night. And it wasn't congruent with what I was telling people. I was telling people to live their lives, and you need to do this, you need to do that. You should set goals. You should have achievements. You should have a vision, and all these things, right? And everyone saw me as the motivational guy. Everyone saw me as the guy that was they're telling people how to live their lives. I was gaining some traction with that, and and it was not congruent because I wasn't living my life that way. I was living my life secretly, in shame and anxiety and guilt, and nobody saw the daily anxiety. Nobody saw the shame. Nobody saw the private rock bottoms. And then one day at work, I had a day job at the time, and one day I was sitting there and I was watching videos about late stage alcoholism, trying to scare myself straight. And like sometimes you do. And I thought, hit me. Maybe the world would be better without me, right? Maybe the world would be better off without me. And that thought terrified me because, and it woke me up because I had at the time she was my girlfriend. She's not my wife. I had two kids. I had a decent job. Like I said, I was building the speaking career, and I had a lot of things. If I would have looked at the outside from the outside in, I would have been like, wow. Especially the teenage me, who was a high school dropout, who was homeless. I would have thought, wow, you've come this far. Cool, that's awesome. But I was just on the inside, I was crumbling because alcohol was still there and I was pushing through it. I was trying to grit my teeth and get through it using willpower and all these things to kind of get myself to go there. And, I wasn't drinking because I was weak. I was drinking and I wasn't broken. And I wasn't powerless. I was just trapped in a habit loop. And with a fast brain running at full speed, my brain is always overthinking and ruminating and all these things and anxiety and guilt and shame and all these nasty things that come with having a fast brain. That was happening to me as well. And I had no system to regulate it, right? And that was the moment the roadmap started forming, even before I knew it. Because the one thought that really helped me get through this, Tony Robbins says that a breakthrough can happen in a moment. I say this a lot because it's super important to understand. On that day, July 18th, 2018, it could have been a regular day. It could have been any other day, and I could be not sitting here with you guys if that day didn't happen to me. And it's kind of like catching lightning in a bottle in a sort of a way because that breakthrough happened. I had that thought and I thought, well, can't go to the AA. I can't go to rehab. I had all this advice coming at me in my mind mentally. And I thought, I have to do something. I have to change something. I have to do something different. And that's where that roadmap started to come into play. And I realized, maybe drinking is just a habit. There's the book Atomic Habits by James Clear, and he talks about habit change and how it's identity based. If you're going to go out there and change a habit and you don't have it as an identity based habit, then you're never going to get to where you want to go, right? And that's what I had to start doing. I had to start changing at identity level. I started doing all sorts of different things that I'd never tried before, and it worked for me. And everything I teach now comes from actually what works for high achieving, fast brained adults. And because I was one, right? And I still am one. I love achievement. I love getting out there and doing things, but I also know that my brain has limitations. My brain is wired differently than other people. I didn't actually start realizing that till this past year as well, that maybe I should start working with that and doing a few more things with that. So let's walk through the five phases that I kind of came up with this past year. I wrote books. I wrote two books this year, and I know it's all about habit change and identity level change and all these great things. But then I realized a couple months ago that all these things I was putting into place was because I have ADHD. I'm still going for an official diagnosis, but I can guarantee you that I have a lot of the symptoms. They're talking about ADHD 2.0 by Dr. Ned Hallowell, an amazing book, and it opened my eyes to the fact that my brain is just wired differently, and I was putting things in place, putting habits in place, putting things in place that were adjusting because I have a fast brain, ADHD tendencies. And maybe that's you too, and that's why I built fast brain sobriety. That's why I switched all my stuff, all my like, I didn't completely get rid of everything, but I switched a lot of my things to work with people with fast brains, work with people with ADHD tendencies, overthinking, those kinds of things, because I think it's such an underserved place to be. And I don't want you guys to fall between the cracks like I did. I was a problem drinker for 18 years, and I was able to break free. And I want to help you guys do that as well and learn how to do it with our fast brain. So, phase number one is all about awareness, right? This is where everything's going to change for you. You stop blaming yourself. You start studying yourself. You studying your wiring. You study your triggers, right? You study your patterns. You study your loops, your peak time, what peak times for cravings, right? Your overdrive signals. Because alcohol starts becoming a moral issue and it becomes a mechanical pattern you can understand and adjust, and you can move forward with that. And that's kind of the point where we are right now. You're listening to podcasts. Maybe you're part of the school community. If you're not, you should join the school community. The Fast Brain Reset School community is an amazing place. There's all sorts of great people in there, and we learn about these things. And that's kind of the awareness phase of it, right? Where you start getting your first 7 days of sobriety, and you start realizing these things about yourself. And it's kind of one of those things where it's like you get clarity, and you start moving forward, and you start understanding, okay, maybe I'm not broken. Maybe I just have a habit. Maybe I can change this. It gives you a little bit of power back into yourself, and awareness is power, especially at that point. Phase two is kind of the reset phase, right? This is where, when I was getting sober, I was where my craving stopped being the enemy, right? And craving stopped being moral failures. They're just messages. And my brain was saying, hey, I'm overwhelmed. Help me regulate, right? And I started putting better habits in place. And this is where I use something called the sixth sense power pause to interrupt the drinking loop instantly, right? It's just 30 seconds, 6 steps, and you can gain control over that. So you want to have things in place to get rid of those cravings. You want to understand that cravings aren't you. They're not in control of you. You have control of yourself, and you can move forward through these things. And you can have these, you can have these tools in place to get past the cravings, to get through them. And it doesn't fix everything, but it does stop the spiral. Just having that power pause, and that's the breakthrough. That's the breakthrough that I really wanted you guys to get in that reset phase. And what I had in that reset phase as well is having tools in place and systems in place so you can break those patterns and break those cycles and break that habit loop, and get to where you want to go. And then the third phase, that I would say I went through, and that I teach a lot of people to go through now, is that we're building awareness and we're rewiring, right? We're building awareness and interrupting the loop. We flip the switch into rewiring. And here's the truth: willpower fails, systems don't fail you. If you have a system in place, it's not going to fail you. And if your system's failing, you can change it. That's the cool thing about this, right? Because if you come from a fixed mindset, right, where you don't think anything can change. I am what I am. I'm as smart as I am. I was born this way. Then you can have a really fixed mindset, and you're going to be fixed in one spot. That's exactly where that's going to take you. But if you have a growth mindset, then you're going to have a growth mindset around alcohol as well. You can grow, you can expand, you can learn, you can change your system. And if it's just a system, you can change it, right? It's like getting a new TV, right? If my TV stops working, all of a sudden, and it just goes black, what do I do? Do I just say, oh well, that's just the way it is? No, I either try to fix the TV, or I get a new one, right? So, and that's the same with alcohol, right? And fast brains burn through willpower faster than anyone else, but systems, they don't. And your willpower is going to fade away. Your willpower is going to go away. It's not going to always be there. Motivation is kind of BS. I used to be the motivational guy. I used to be the guy that's out there telling you need to be motivated. You need to be motivated to do this and that. And that's awesome. But I'm not always motivated. And that's the truth. This morning, I didn't want to get out of bed. I wasn't motivated to get out of bed, but I had systems in place. I have things in place. I have an alarm clock. I have routines in the morning that to get up and get moving. And that's exactly what I did. And I fall to my systems, right? And good or bad, we're going to fall to our systems. So that's what kind of the rewire section of it is. Systems carry you through when motivation dies, and this phase is all about micro habits, right? Routine anchors, dopamine friendly structures, trigger proof environments, automatic success. Right? This is where your life starts working for you instead of against you, right? And it's all about habits and putting better habits in place and understanding what a habit is and what it isn't, understanding what a bad habit is and how to break it, and what a good habit is and how to implement it into your life, and also understanding there's certain habits that might help you out as well. We call them sober switches, right? So there's 6 sober habits that kind of we talk about. We talk about journaling every single day. We talk about mindfulness and meditation. That's where the sixth sense power pause comes in. We talk about connection, daily connection, right? You need to have that daily connection. We also talk about learning and growing every single day because that's super, super important. Movement and exercise every single day because that's super important, especially with us with fast brains. We need that dopamine, right? And then we talk about having a meaningful, absorbing project, something that's meaningful, absorbing, and a project that you can use to move forward. And those are the kind of things that we learn about and that I would suggest you do in the rewire phase. And then recode is kind of where I started to recode my beliefs. I started to look at the things in my life, and this is kind of the identity layer. Remember, I talked about identity and how it's so important. Well, here's the truth though: alcohol lies to you. It tells you, "Oh, you need me to relax, right? You need me to socialize. You need me to feel confident. I'm the solution to all your problems." And all it delivers to you guys is anxiety, shame, and disconnection. And I know that for a fact. And I used to think alcohol made me more confident, but if I actually looked at the situations, was I more confident, or did I just think I was more confident? Because I'm sure if I had a camera on me all the time, I didn't have social media back in the day. I'm getting older, I'm going to age myself, but I didn't have social media, and I'm so happy we didn't because I would probably be like, wow, I was an idiot. I was acting stupid, I was acting dumb, I was doing shitty things, and we need to see that objectively. So alcohol doesn't make you more confident. It didn't make me more confident. You have that confidence inside of you, and I want you guys to start building that. So in that phase, we're going to dismantle the beliefs that alcohol has been whispering for years to you, right? We're going to rewrite them. We're going to reframe them. We're going to take back control at a subconscious level because here's the real truth about it. Yeah, Ed Milet talks about this thing. Tony Robbins does too. It's kind of like having a thermostat in your house, right? You have this switch on the wall, right? And you take it and you go thermostat. I'm gonna put it at 70, okay? 70 degrees, cool. What happens when it goes up to 80? If the temperature ever went up to 80, what would happen? It would stay there for a little while, but then it would come back down because it's regulated, right? So if you set your alcohol-free lifestyle to a 70 and then you try to go above that, well, guess what? You're going to sabotage yourself because it comes back to this, it comes back to what you're comfortable with, what your furnace is set on, right? Your hypothetical furnace. And that's exactly how it works in your alcohol-free lifestyle too. There's things that are going to sabotage you. If you still think alcohol is giving you a benefit, then you're never going to get to where you want to go because you see alcohol as being something that's a solution to your problems. If you start seeing that as it's not a solution to your problems, getting into the subconscious beliefs, getting into that, recoding those, then you're going to be able to change a lot easier. At least that's worked for me. This is where you stop acting like a sober person and start becoming one, right? You stop the acting. The acting is great in the first place. You want to step forward. You want to start acting like the sober person you want to be, but you start becoming that sober person. You start moving like that person. You start acting like the person. You start showing up like that person, and that's where the real change is going to happen. And that's where the long lasting change. I've been sober for the past 7 years, guys, and I haven't had a drink since, and it's a miracle. I was a daily drinker, and I was drinking vodka and beer every single day. And I was at the point where I was almost physically dependent on alcohol. And I can tell you, ever since that day when I decided I was going to change and work on my habits and start recoding my beliefs and all these things that we're talking about today, everything changed for me. I no longer see alcohol as something that I want to drink. It's a poison to me. And people can say it's healthy for you all they want. They can talk about, oh, the health benefits, or I just want one or two. Cool. If you want to moderate, I'm okay with that too. I want to meet you where you are, but I'm here to tell you the truth. Alcohol is ethanol. It's disgusting, a poison that's addictive for you. And once you start seeing it that way, once you start understanding that's an addictive poison, once you understand that the marketing companies want you to drink because they want to keep you stupid and they want to keep you spending money on them. That's the truth. That's the harsh reality of this all. And there's billions of dollars going into this, trillions. I'm hearing, right, that when you look at how much the alcohol industry makes, there's trillions of dollars going towards advertising to get you to drink this poison. But once you start uncovering these subconscious beliefs and these layers to it, you realize that you don't need it. You don't need alcohol. Everything you need is inside of you, and I want to help you guys get the power back. So that's really what that's all about. And then, the fifth step I would say is to start reclaiming your life, right? This is where freedom kicks in. This is where clarity returns, where your creativity comes back online, where your presence with your family becomes your new normal. Those kinds of things. This is where you experience something I call the joy of missing out, right? The joy of missing out on hangovers. No more chaos, no more shame, nothing to recover from. You get the joy of enjoying your life. And so many times people are stuck in this. I'm gonna be missing out on all the parties and the things. And I was like this too, guys. I'm not shaming or guilting you, but guess what? You're not gonna miss out on those things. You're gonna have so many better things in your life. You're filling that void with better things, and that's what Fast Brain Sobriety is all about: is filling your life with better things, reclaiming your life from alcohol, and moving forward with that. And you know what? This is the life you've been building towards, right? And it's gonna take a little while. Sometimes it takes a few months, a year, sometimes. But as long as you got that passion and you got that growth and you want to move forward step by step by step, then you're gonna get to where you want to go. And I really want to help you guys get there. So that's definitely reclaiming your life is definitely the last kind of step that I was able to do, and I really want you guys to do that too. So that's a 30-day sobriety roadmap, right? If I could take anybody and say, hey, you are drinking too much right now, and I want you to get here by say 30 days or 90 days. But for the next 30 days, if we could have a perfect trajectory and we could get here in 30 days, this is what I would say we would do. We'd build on an awareness. We'd build on resetting your cravings and your mindset. And then we'd be rewiring your habits. What is a habit? How do we change it? What do we do? How do we work with our fast brain? What kind of roadblocks does a fast brain actually have? Well, hyperfocus and rejection sensitivity and all these things, that roadblocks that are going to be thrown thrown at us. We're going to get past those. And then we're going to start recoding your beliefs, right? Recoding your beliefs around your ADHD and your fast brain as well. Like understand that it's not this big curse that you think it is. It's a superpower, but we got to learn how to work with it, right? Because it can be a curse, and I'm just not disregarding that. Trust me, I lived with this my whole life as well. I know the curses of having ADHD, but I also know that you can get past that. You can move forward, and you start seeing it as something that you can use and something that's special to you. It's a gift, right? And once you see that as a gift, then you can start recoding those subconscious beliefs and moving forward, and then you can start reclaiming your life. And you know, and then maybe at the end of it, you'd be like, I eliminated the need to drink. That's kind of the goal, right? We want to eliminate the need to drink because what's underlying that need to drink is you think alcohol is a solution to your problems, and you have this need, the desire, this urge to drink. Once you put better things in place, that need goes away, that desire goes away, and you can live an alcohol-free lifestyle. So if any of this hit home, if you feel seen, understood, and ready to take the next steps, I really encourage you guys to join me in the Fast Brain 30. This is where you take the roadmap and you build your version of it. In the Fast Brain 30, premium coaching program that we have in my school community. We have weekly coaching calls, right? We have deep dives, tools, Sober Toolbox, workbooks, and structure, and a community that's just wired just like you. A community that's there to help each other and build each other. And this is the system I wish I had when I was trying to figure it out. I wish I had a community of people. I really wish that I had more people to talk to, more people to understand me, more people to say, you're not broken. It's okay. We can move forward with this, right? And I really wish I had that, and I'm trying to build that for you guys. So you don't have to do this alone. If you're ready for the next 30 days to be different, jump into the premium section and upgrade inside the school community. If you haven't aren't part of the free school community, I have a 7-day Kickstart challenge as well in there, where you kind of go through the awareness part of this, understanding your fast brain, what's happening with it, and kind of get you to a point where you are ready to build this roadmap and get to your first 30 days of sobriety. And hopefully you stick around with me for the whole year, for a couple years, for the rest of your life if you want to. Hopefully we can become friends and work on this together. So you can join. I'll leave the link in the comments here in the podcast if you guys want to join that. So your brain, excuse me, your fast brain isn't a problem. It's a superpower. And once you learn how to work with it, then you're going to be able to get to where you want to go. So thank you guys so much for listening to me. I'll see you guys in the next episode. I decided I wanted to jump on and kind of give you guys a little bit of a 30-day roadmap to get to where you want to go, because we can do this alone, right? We can try and piece it together like I did, and it's going to take you a while. It might take you longer than you think it should. It might be more difficult. There might be those hard nights where you're exhausted, you don't know what to do, your emotions all over the place, you have no one to talk to, and I was able to grit and bear it and get through it and build my own system. But not a lot of people are like that, and I wish I didn't have to do it that way. I wish I had a community of people. I wish I had a supportive place where I could go, and that's what I want to build, the Fast Brain Sobriety. So if that's cool with you, then join the school community, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I'll link the link in the comment for the school community, and I'd love to see you guys in there. Okay, see you guys. Have a substantive day. See you guys in the next video.